Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program.
It's 9 o'clock, another bright Saturday morning on VOB 92.9 FM. Time for you to hear 15 sugar-free minutes with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program in partnership with the Barbados Community Foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Good morning to everybody who's tuned in, drinking their sugarless tea and eating their low-sugar cereal. At least I hope it's low sugar. And good morning to you too, Larry. I can't forget my manners. This is Peter Boyce here. And even if the weather isn't bright outside, we will make it bright for you on the inside with 15 minutes with the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, which is located in Warren St. Michael, your one-stop location where all your diabetic needs can be met, including if you are pre-diabetic. If you are pre-diabetic, you can go there and they can help you to reverse the process. So, what are we doing today? You might ask. Today, we'll be putting our foot down because we will be discussing some more issues related to your feet. You know why? Because the care of diabetic feet is so important. There are so many things that could go wrong as it relates to your feet. It ain't funny. So that's why it's time for you to put your foot down and listen to what our first foot expert has to say about taking care of your feet this morning.
My name is Melissa Bisoun and I've been a registered nurse since 2004 and I've been at the Diabetes Foundation since 2018, early 2018 March or so. A very nice experience. We do, as nurses, we do podiatry and we do the medical side of it to the extent where like that's blood pressures, taking your HbA1c, which is also a diagnosis upgraded to diagnosing with diabetes as well and stuff like that. I really concentrate a lot on podiatry. While here, have been here, Dr. Brathwaite did invest in me alongside the podiatrists.
How important is podiatry to diabetics?
Absolutely important. Basically, it's saving feet. And with saving feet, you need to get it, you see that golden era? That's that golden space. So if I can get you to assess your feet, I don't need to wait on a cut or bruise. I need to put in my education with you individually as a diabetic. So then when you start with education and home therapy and then get into the nearest hospital setting as soon as possible, you start there saving feet from that moment. It's very important, very, very important.
What is the golden moment as it relates to diabetes treatment?
The golden moment is when you get it as soon as possible. Or I home and I say, well, I can wait 3 days to see what happened. You're escalating your, I would say, damage, putting yourself out there. Don't want to go so fast to say an amputation, but you're making the ulcer or whatever worse. You feel you can get better, but that don't mean anything because you're a diabetic. Your healing process is different. We don't know if you had a tetanus injection. We don't know the severity of your controlled or uncontrolled diabetes. So we need to get everything done as soon as possible. So that's why we tell patients as soon as anything happens, just come to the nearest hospital, center, wherever, GP, public care. We have public care in Barbados. So Winston Scott, we have the Tertiary Institution, QEH, the Diabetes Foundation. Come on, don't waste no time.
Thank you, Nurse Bassoon. As we continue to focus on your feet this morning, we are now going to go to Dr. Diane Brathwaite. And she also has something to say regarding your feet. So put your foot down and listen.
Hello, today I just want to say something about the foot and diabetes. So first of all, there's a term called diabetic foot. And what exactly does that mean? That really refers to the person who has complications in the foot because of diabetes. We may have discussed some of these at some point in time and we'll discuss some other points. But of course, we know about the nerve damage. We know about the case where there may not be enough blood going down into the foot or the peripheral arterial disease we've been talking so much about recently. And then people who may have deformities and other issues related to the foot. which simply place the foot at higher risk of injury. However, although we'll get onto diabetic foot in much more detail in the very near future, I want to just reflect on something much simpler. And this is actually just thinking about the toes and nail care. In recent weeks, I've actually seen quite a few cases of persons with significant injuries simply because the nail care was inadequate. So if you have diabetes, even if you don't have the typical complications related to diabetes in the foot, it's very important to make sure that you take adequate care of your nails. And what does that mean? It simply means making sure that you keep your nails at a normal length. You don't let them grow too long. When they grow too long, this causes problems because the nail may actually hit the front of the shoe or the bottom of the shoe, then damaging the base of the nail or underneath the nail. I'm also making sure that if your nails are growing too thick, that you see your care provider for advice on their management, or if there's evidence of bruising under the nails, fungus to the nails, lifting of the nails. All of these things are things that actually need treatment. If there's any ingrowing of the toenails or pain by the sides of the nails, you may also need to have a check on that. The reality is, because peripheral arterial disease does exist more commonly in persons with diabetes, some people actually think that their circulation is completely normal and they may have reduced circulation, which might not be apparent to them in terms of having symptoms, but they may have reduced circulation going down to the toes. So this is actually not that uncommon, where there's narrowing of the little arteries by the sides of the toes. So if you have an issue with the nail and you have that going on, it means that your toe obviously becomes at a higher risk and you may not have even known. So just remembering those tips, just thinking about nails, make sure you cut them regularly. If you're not able to see or cut them yourself, have somebody who is competent to do it for you. Don't cut it all the way back. Make sure you cut it with a little edge, cut it straight across and file back. However, if you have a diabetic foot, meaning if you have nerve damage, if you have peripheral arterial disease, recurrent swelling, if you can't see properly, please go to a professional and have it cut. If you've had a previous serious injury to your foot or ulcer, we definitely recommend you having regular checks with a podiatrist or somebody who is competent with dealing with your feet. And of course, since we're talking about the toe in itself, not just the nail, remembering that sometimes callus can build up around the toe or maybe even the side of the toe. These are things that need to be managed. So my take-home message is, if it's not normal, go and get it checked out. And last but not least, of course, is don't forget footwear. Remember that you want to wear the correct footwear. We'll talk about this a little bit later. Don't wear anything that is too tight, squeezing your toes, or anything that's too loose, because then your foot can move back and forth. And while you thought you're preventing injury, you may be creating injury. So these are just some very quick thoughts and tips about nail care, simply because we've been seeing a lot of people presenting with complications and injuries related to poor nail care recently, but we will come again with a lot more information related to general foot care. So please stay tuned for that, and remember, happy feet. Take care of your feet. Stay safe.
We go from Dr. Diane Bradford as we focus on your feet this morning. We take you back to 2008. Keeping with the theme of feet, with the promise of the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, they will not let your feet fail you when you visit them in Warrens and follow all their podiatrist medical advice. This is Rupee from 2008. Feet, don't fail me now.
Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-EYES, 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program.
No, it might be can take much more job than they, but they must some way somehow. So we begging them now.
As we continue on the Maria Holder Diabetes Saturday radio show, you know who visited the Diabetes Center this week? MP and former Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Cynthia Ford. And she was interviewed by Hilary Ford of the Diabetes Center. Let's take a listen to that.
Good day, Ms. Ford. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you to the Barbados Diabetes Foundation today. As you're aware, BDF is a program that is a result of a tripartite agreement between the government of Barbados, Medicare Foundation, and the BDF. The program involves a comprehensive 6 months intervention to persons living with diabetes who have been referred from polyclinics. Can you take this opportunity to recommend our services that have been provided for by the government to our citizens?
Oh, yes, indeed. I believe that it is one of the most outstanding things that can happen to help to sensitize Barbadians that they must have their tests done in order for them to be able to know their status. And I think this is a wonderful concept. I'm thankful for a structure of this nature so that all people can come. Poor people can come, rich people can come, middle class people come, sick people, old, you name it. And I believe that the foundation is going to make a tremendous difference. I chose to come here. I heard people talking about it. I am not diabetic, thank God, as far as I'm aware, but I wanted to have my eyes checked. And I did come. I had one of the most wonderful experiences. The environs are immaculate. And of course, the treatment that is meted out to the clients by the staff has me most impressed. And so I encourage Barbadians to come out and take advantage of these opportunities to know your status, whether it be your eyes or your diabetes or whatever component there is associated with your health, so that you can know the next steps and you can introduce the diets and the kinds of physical activity and otherwise to be able to help you to understand where you're at and how to improve the quality of your health.
Thank you. That was wonderful, and thank you for recommending us. You've talked about your eyes. You've had your eye screening done. You've also had your foot screening done today. Could you tell us about your foot screening process?
I really love it. I never knew that feet have pulses in the same way that you could hear other pulses. So I thought that was really a new experience for me. But I am happy that I had the privilege to have had the examination done, because I've learned so much about my feet and the roles that they play beyond walking and so on, running, whatever. And of course, I've got to know my status where that is concerned, and I encourage others to come and get it done. Sometimes we lose sight of the important things in life that can help us to enjoy better long living as well as health. And so sometimes you can go and you can buy a meal for $50, $100, and that meal may not even the best meal for you. But when you can come and pay that money to be able to know your status, for me that is most critical, because then you can determine what kinds of meals you will eat thereafter, especially if you're tested for diabetes or any of the other ailments that will impact on you, even the colds. It wouldn't matter. However, I believe that Barbadians must step back and take a better look at their health to ensure their status and to be able to follow the instructions of all the medical personnel to be able to make sure that they extend their lives a little longer. Diabetes is not a happy experience in our society or anywhere in the world. And of course, I see so many people who have amputations. And of course, let me know of the slogan that Barbados is the diabetes or the amputation capital and things of that nature. And although people may be saying that jokingly, I think that more education should be done and that more people should take advantage of opportunities to be tested and to follow the protocols that their diets and their exercises and all the other things that they do help them to enjoy better health, especially in their older years.
Thank you, Hillary Ford. In conversation with MP Cynthia Ford, those Fords aren't related in case you was wondering. When you heard foot screening being mentioned, that is part of the new vascular service that is now being offered at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. So if you have problems with your feet swelling and thing, or any other vascular issue, you can call and get more information or make an appointment by calling 243-3937. Also, you can call that same number and get your eyes screened for diabetic retinopathy, 243-3937. And remember, BART members get 10% off. That is why the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, with their diabetic eye screening program, offers a standard of service that equals or surpasses any you might receive internationally. And very soon, there will be a dedicated vascular department added that will be the centerpiece of a new national preventative campaign that will highlight the discovery of early circulatory problems in the limbs and extremities of at-risk persons. So if you are diabetic and listening to your radio right now, you need to make an appointment and get your eyes screened. You can reach them by calling 417-0305 or 243-3937 to make that appointment. The last 15 minutes you heard on your radio was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program in partnership with the Barbados Community Foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Until next time, take care of your eyes.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program.